Money News Review. My name is Ola, and I am the founder of the MoneyWith Club and olaoladile.com. And basically, what we do is that we help you as an individual put your finances in order from learning how to manage your finances, creating an investment strategy, creating a financial plan, a holistic financial plan, and also actually investing through our investment community, the MoneyWith Club. So, yes, you're welcome to this week's episode. And basically, what we do in these sessions is that we talk through news that could affect your pocket. And we talk about how you can position yourself either to avoid the impact or to brace up for it or to actually take advantage of it. So, if this is your first time joining us, you're welcome. We invite you to subscribe to my channel. Yes, so you get and hit the notification button so that you get you get notified every time we come online and are live. And then please confirm that you can hear me because I changed my sound system today. Anyways, welcome, and if you're joining us, just please say hi and we'll be sure to boost it up for everyone to see. Now, going to the first news, we're going global, starting from the global news. Um, in the news this week, some data came out that venture-backed startups were going bankrupt at an alarming rate, right? Basically, almost 60% of businesses that were established in the past 5 years have shut down. Now, businesses, I mean startups, especially those backed by those doing stuff around AI, and all. And I saw this and I just smiled because there has been so much news around venture capital. Most times when we see the news, what we see is, oh, this company raised this amount. Oh, this company exited with this. Oh, somebody made times X of this, right? But the reality, global data, historical data, is that less than 30% of businesses cross the 10-year mark, and that's global data. And then if you are in the global south, your data will be worse off, right? By global south, I mean in underdeveloped countries, your data will be worse off, right? So what are we saying here? That whilst we are very Hey, hi Terella. Whilst we encourage people to invest in venture capital, the reality is that it is highly risky. And what highly risky means is that there is a high chance that your money will disappear. A very high chance. So, but then what really happens is that what we recommend and what really works is that you put your eggs in plenty baskets. So that, and then because usually what happens is that the one that actually does very well, it usually covers the losses of the ones that go bankrupt. So this is me saying here that venture capital is not all rosy. The fact is that some of these businesses, I mean, the conversation hasn't been around fraud. It's not like the founders what's it called? Not like the founders stole money. No, it's that regulation could not support it. Something changed and the business just couldn't thrive. Another issue was really that because fewer people are funding venture capital right now, some of those businesses simply could not get enough cash to keep on running. That was literally it. They burnt out the cash that they had and they couldn't get fresh financing, and that was it. And some their business strategy probably did not work or something changed and it just couldn't work anymore, right? So it's not just about fraud. It's not like the founders are stealing. It's not any of that. It's just the reality that venture capital is highly risky because there's so many headwinds going against the business that you just don't know which one is going to take it out, right? So we recommend don't put all your eggs in one basket. And even in the club, we sort of try to bring as many as possible, and as against putting all your money in one, recommend that you spread it across many to improve your chances of success. So yes, that's that with venture capital. And then I mean, if you are listening and you are a venture capital investor, you have been doing that for a while. Do you have stories to tell around losses? Because it's let me not say it's part of the story. It can be part of the story, and it won't be out of place, especially when it's not a fraud situation. It won't be out of place for you to be part of the story, really. And I'm moving on. A gold bar is now worth $1 million for the first time. Now, as much as we know that there's oil, there's oil and all the byproducts of oil, there's actually gold, and gold is a massive store of value. Now, what has happened here is that because Investors are anticipating that the Feds are going to cut rates very soon. There has been a lot of demand for gold. And for the first time ever, one gold bar, because gold in when gold is delivered physically, is delivered in bars, right? So one gold bar is worth $1 million right now. Now, what does it mean for you as an investor? The fact is that a lot of times when people when there is a flight to safety, for example, when there is a when people are unsure of other assets, people actually just turn to gold because you can actually leave your gold, you just hold it there and it will be there and you can keep it and you can wait until things get better and sell it up. Or you can break it up into ounces and all that and sell. Right. So gold is always an asset. And I mean, countries also hold gold in reserves. So there's always demand for gold and then there's also demand for gold as per jewelry that people take tiny pieces of it and melt into different things and all that. So gold is an asset, right? Have you ever thought about investing in it? And what does this tell us? It tells us that the global economy is about to go into a change. There's going to be a reversal, sort of, right? How positioned are you for it? Because if people are actually anticipating a drop in interest rate, then what does that interest rate drop for mean for you? Well, on a normal day, a drop in interest rate should actually imply that there will be increased liquidity globally, right? Because if America drops interest rates, everybody will follow. There will be increased demand, there will be increased flow of capital outside of America and all. So, for you as an investor, what should you be thinking? Number one, how do you get into the gold thing? Number two, this lower interest rate, how do I position for it? If I'm thinking of buying properties outside in the states, might be a time to actually jump in and take that because once the rates start coming down, the prices are going to go up some more, right? Just putting it out there. And then going on to Africa news. um Now, this one I saw and I smiled because there was almost no escaping it. So, backstory is that Kenya um, had to do a capital raise to pay for their bond. They had to get a portion of the money to pay back from World Bank. Then, at some point, part of the terms was that they had to increase taxes, and because of those taxes, there were protests around the country, and it was a massive social unrest thingy going on in Kenya. The president had to come out, had to do Twitter spaces or X spaces, talking to the citizens and all, and things sort of calmed down. And then now they are bringing back the taxes. Now, you might think, oh, why were they so mischievous? Why did they stop it and then come back to it? The fact is this: at the point where all those things were happening, it was quite clear that they had to increase taxes. Why? Because how does a government raise revenue? How do you really fund a government? For you to fund a government, you either sell assets, sell national assets, which is a one-time event and not sustainable, or you increase taxes, right? Um, so after all the shouting, after all the everything, the question is, what is the plan? What were they going to do to fund the economy? And the economy just does need funding, right? So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I understand. What we are avoiding, what we need to avoid, is social unrest. So I want to believe that negotiations with the citizens have gone ahead of this conversation, such that, and then I also want to believe that some of the requests in terms of, I mean, some people were fired, some new people were hired who were part of the opposition to say, okay, if you have ideas, so yeah, come and bring your ideas to the table, let's give you that space, things like that. But I do hope that the social unrest part of things doesn't come up again, but that they will not increase those taxes. It's almost inevitable. But there needs to be some negotiation and there needs to be some tracking in terms of fiscal responsibility and actually deploying those funds where they should go, so that we don't increase taxes and then come back again and have to increase it again and we're not making progress as a nation. So I wish all the Kenyan people well. Um, there's no escaping it, unfortunately. And everywhere people are increasing taxes globally, it's a global thing, right? It's not peculiar to Africa or Kenya, right? It's a global thing. There's always that debate on who to tap. Is it the rich people? Is it everybody? There's always that debate. And then finally, to Nigeria news, I saw this and I smiled, right? Because the SEC is saying that they're going to license crypto exchanges. I actually like this path, because the role of regulators is to actually safeguard people as against creating a system where there is a massive ecosystem that is not under their control. So I do like the fact that the SEC is offering or is saying that is announcing that they're going to license crypto exchanges, right? Because there's almost like an underworld, for lack of a better word, where people are still doing their crypto things. Whatever you're saying is your business. If the Nigerian banks don't want to support, it's fine. But somehow or the other, that market is still there. Now, so what are they saying? They're saying they're going to license crypto exchanges. I like it. I like it. Like I said, I like it. For me, the concerns are around how to integrate the SEC policies with the CBN policies, because the CBN is on one end saying, they haven't come to reverse all the regulations around or against crypto as a currency. Also, there's also the fact that the challenges around money laundering and lack of transparency in the crypto market hasn't yet been resolved. So, as a nation, there is also that part of the national security that needs to be factored in, such that I want to believe that if the SEC is taking on this path, then they should have like some kind of strategy to improve transparency. But I dare say that globally transparency has still not yet been improved, and because of the nature of cryptocurrency, we're going to be plugged. Any exchange is going to be plugged into the global crypto markets. So that hold on transparency is going to be very tough to achieve, and even the developed nations are yet to achieve it, I dare say. I achieve it totally. But strides have been made. Some people have been prosecuted for actions in the crypto market, which is a good sign. So there's almost some limit to how reckless crypto exchanges can be going forward. But yes, we are looking forward to this. And why are we looking forward to this? Because if you look at the history of money, right? Money started with we had trade by barter. We now went to the point where we're trading with gold, and then we moved to paper money, and then we moved to money backed by trust, meaning that there was a reserve somewhere, and then we now move to money backed by trust, where it's credit that is driving the growth, the money supply right now. That's quite technical, but yes, credit is driving money supply right now. But if the world is going digital, right? If the future is the internet, if the internet is the future, if AI is the future, then it's logical for a digital currency to be part of our future, right? And so this whole drama around crypto is more like finding a landing spot, right, for digital currency and the acceptance of it all. I mean, for the most part, we sort of have that because it's possible for you to go out without cash right now and you pay all your bills and all that wherever you are in the world, right? So we are heading in that direction, but crypto is almost like taking it further. So it's almost logical for us to be going this path, but there needs to be a lot of regulation. Um, and just a reminder that this session is powered by the Money with Club. We invite you to check us out. Let me put up the link here, w.themoneywithclub.com, and you can ask any questions you have around the club. You're welcome. And also, while you're still thinking about joining the club, we have our free newsletter community on Substack. We invite you to sign up. It's free, and we would see